America's former intelligence chief James Clapper claims Vladimir Putin is handling Donald Trump as an asset.
What a great case officer Vladimir Putin is. He knows how to handle an asset, and that's what he's doing with the president.
Well, some strong words there. And joining me live to discuss this is RT's Caleb Morpin in New York. So, hi there, Caleb. So, can you sum it all up for us? And why has there been such a strong reaction?
Well, this was a reaction to a recent speech by U.S. President Donald Trump, where he pointed out that that there was cooperation between U.S. intelligence and Russian authorities, and they were able to avert a terrorist attack in St. Petersburg. And he said this was an example of good cooperation between the two countries. This is Donald Trump.
They were able to apprehend these terrorists before the event with no loss of life, and that's a great thing. And the way it's supposed to work, that is the way it's supposed to work.
So we heard Trump say that, and then we heard Clapper on CNN arguing that this was not the reality. Now, he wasn't saying that the USA shouldn't cooperate with Russia, but he said that in cooperation, it's a, quote, one-way street, saying that at no point does Russia ever return the favors that the USA does. Well, the actual record does point out contrary facts. In fact, if one looks at what went on with the Boston bombing, repeatedly, Russian authorities had warned U.S. authorities about one of the Zarnev brothers. One of the perpetrators of that bombing had been repeatedly pointed out by Russian authorities to U.S. officials. And in fact, James Clapper was the director of the National Security Agency at the time that that took place. So there are examples of Russia working with U.S. authorities and helping the United States. Now, Clapper just in particular had a lot of strong opinions when it came to Russia. These are some of the things that James Clapper has said about Russia in the past.
The Russians, who are typically almost genetically driven to co-opt, penetrate, gain favor.
So it seems that James Clapper was not happy about what Donald Trump said, pointing out that cooperation between Russian and U.S. authorities had prevented a terrorist attack in St. Petersburg, and he was kind of pulling out his old spy kit and reiterating some of his old statements and old opinions on CNN. However, the record seems to point to the opposite, when Russian officials repeatedly warned U.S. officials about the Zarnev brothers, or one of the Zarnev brothers.
Bringing back some history there. RT's Caleb Morpin in New York. Thank you.